Okay, so there's this topic that seems to come up quite often and sometimes seems to trouble people or worry them. And it doesn't entirely make sense to me, so let me know your thoughts. And it's this. We want to measure indoor air quality. We believe it is important. We think we can use this data to improve our buildings, but we're really worried about how it will be communicated, and that people are going to start seeing the data, and they'll see all of the raw data. They'll see a little spike in a specific conference room at 3:15 p.m., and they're going to call up facilities and say, what's going on with this, and start really digging into the data and making complaints, and it's actually going to cause more work for us. And I find this puzzling because it seems to assume that we only have two options. Option A is we do absolutely nothing at all. We don't measure our air quality. We have no idea what's going on inside any of our buildings, any of our spaces. Or option B, we do measure and we understand what's going on. And we also publish all of this data in every little detail, every minute by minute reading for every individual space. We make it completely transparent to all occupants of the building. And this potentially causes challenges down the road. And I find this funny because I really don't believe that there's two options. I think it's not black and white. There are many, many, many shades of gray in between. And the funny thing is that we don't think this way really about anything else in our buildings, right? We have hundreds, if not thousands of thermostats, but we don't have any occupants in the building saying, hey, I want to know thermostat 67E on floor 23 at 7:15, what was the reading? And then we sort of present them, the occupant, with an entire database with every single row and every single column there for them to interpret themselves. So we don't do this with that. We also don't publish badge data or occupancy levels or really anything else. So why do we need to publish every single tiny data point for the indoor air quality in a building? And I think it sort of stems, we need to separate these two pieces. One is measuring indoor air quality and using that data to optimize our buildings and to optimize building performance and create healthier space for building occupants. That is actually completely separate from any sort of communications around indoor air quality or around indoor environmental quality or health, well-being, or anything else. And we can do A without doing B. Now, I actually believe there's a lot of power and a lot of benefits to doing B as well, but these two do not have to be connected, right? They are completely independent. So we absolutely should be measuring the air quality in our buildings. We should be using that data to make our buildings operate better and to deliver healthier outcomes for all the people inside them. I think we can probably all agree on that. And then we come to the question of how do we communicate this information? And here also, I believe there are many shades of gray. It's not black or white. It's not we show nothing or we totally show everything, every column, every row in the database, right? I think there are a lot of ways based on the goals of the organization, based on how transparency is valued, what types of data are typically shared. I think there's a lot of different ways that we can utilize this data for the good of the occupants. And that might be showing hourly averages. It might be showing the reading for a specific conference room when you're at that conference room for that minute. So people, if they see it is too high, maybe there's also a sign that says if it's too high, open the door, ventilate a little bit. And that brings people in as sort of part of the journey of creating a healthier space. Or perhaps the only communication that ever takes place around indoor air quality is telling people when there's a wildfire outside and it is incredibly polluted outdoors, this is a safe space. We filter our air and the readings in here are currently 95% better than outdoors. So come inside, don't worry, you can feel safe here. In fact, bring your family, bring your kids, because this is a great space. And that might be the only communication. That is still really, really powerful and really valuable. So I think number one, we got to split these two things up, and then let's not think of this as black and white. There are many shades of gray.